Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Alhamdulillah wa salatu wa salam ala rasulullah wa ala alihi wa sahbihi. Now, today we want to look at al-atfu, which in English means conjunction. So when we have atfu, so we have here, what is atfu? Atfu is a word that we join to a word we have before, or a phrase we are joined to a phrase before, or a sentence we are joined to a sentence we have before. So that's what we call atfu. So for instance, let's look at this statement. Ja'a Zaidun wa Anasun. Ja'a Zaidun wa Anasun. Zaid and Anas arrived. So this Anas is our atfu because we already have our word, so we are joining this Anas to this Zaid. So this Anas is our what? Atfu. So atfu is the word we are joining to a word we have before. Do you understand? So an atfu, as we said, we told us is one of the four tawabi'un, which we mentioned when we were talking about tawkid. We said we have nat, we have tawkid, we have atfu, and we have badal, which we are going to do consequently. I think we should do it on Thursday or so, or yeah, it's very near Sha. So this is atfu. So and we tell us that atfu always follow it is the what it is following. That means the noun that they have the same ishtirok, they have the same ruling. That means they do something together. For instance, look at this now. Ja'a Zaidun wa Anasun. They share something in common. What did they share? Arrival. We said Zaid and Anas arrived. That means what we are saying is that Zaid and Anas share something. What's that? They share the act of arriving together. So that's why we can join them together. Do you understand? So that's the first thing. Secondly, is that since they have that same thing together, they are going to have the same hukmu of an i'rab. Do you get? So this is a file. So this too will be what? Will be a tabi'un for it because it's following what is fine. So that's why it's also taken off. So to not make sense, if I say Ja'a Zaidun wa Anasin, I can't say that. I can also say I cannot claim that this is atfu and I say Ja'a Zaidun wa Anasan when I'm claiming this is an atfu. So do you get? I can't say Anasin and I can't say what Anasan. Rather, the only thing I can say is what Ja'a Zaidun wa Anasun if I'm claiming that this is an atfu. Do we get? Because we say atfu is also a tabi'un. Do we get now? And we share with his ma'atuf alayhi, they are going to share the same words, the same hukm. So that is that. So let's look at our word. This is our ma'atuf alayhi. This is our harful atfi. So do we get? And this word, this can call it two names. Can call it ma'atuf. What is joined to something, or you can call it also what atfu. Any of these two names, do we get now? So that is that. Now we now have those tools that we use to join words together or to join sentences together. So some of them are written here. Some scholars said 9, some said 10. But we mentioned the one for at least for a learner, somebody just coming up and learning Nahw. Don't disturb yourself. Just start from just start from scratch and later on you learn more. There are some things we deliberately omit. Even when we are reading our book, we deliberately omit and we omitted them because we felt that we are just coming up. So take things gradually. So may Allah make it an easy one. So uruful atfi, the particles we use for conjunctions. So we have wow. Do you get now? This wow is called wow atfi because in Arabic language we have more than 18 wow. Do we get now? So this wow is what wawul atfi, the one they are mentioning here, that in English that has the meaning of and. Do we get now? We still tell us their usage. Don't worry. We also have fa. This fa we call it foul atfi because we have different fa too in Arabic. Do you get now? So although it's not as much as wa, we also have thumma. That means afterward. We have aw, which means or we can use it basically for takhir and what shaku. There are some three other things we use them for, which we will not mention deliberately. We also have here. Do we get now? We also have what la. Do we get? We also have what bal. So this la also is la of atfi. There are also many la. We have la of kosami. We have la of nafiu. We have la of nahyu and other la like that. So this is bal. We use this for idrok to strike something out. This is lakin for istidrok to make correction. We also have hatta that shows what the extent to the goya to the end part of something. This is hatta is for atfu. We say it because we have four types of according to Imam Suyuti, that he used it to compose a song, but we just mentioned only two. that we are used to. We know the other two, we deliberately keep quiet on them because it's not for the level of this class, inshallah. So let's quickly look at our statement and look at the usage of this uruful atfi. Now look at the first one, which is the most popular, which is the wawul atfi. So we use it. We use two examples for it deliberately because of this points we want to score. Let's look at it. We have tawalla li khilafata. Tawalla li khilafata. That means he attained caliph. Abu Bakr wa Umar. Abu Bakr and Umar attained the Khilafah. Now look at that statement. That because we are using wawul atfi, they say wawul atfi li jamu mutlaqan. It's just used for what? To say that two persons what? They do something. Two or more people they are doing something. But wawul atfi will not what? Will not tell you who is doing it first. If I say Ja'a Zaidun, like this statement now, Ja'a Zaidun wa Anasun. Do we guess now? This statement is what? Is ambiguous. It can mean what? Zaid arrived first, Umar now arrived later. It can mean what? Zaid, Umar, it can mean, Zaid arrived first, then Anas. It can also mean Anas arrived first, then Zaid. It can even mean Musahaba, that both of them also arrive. It can mean that immediately Zaid arrived, Anas was coming. It can also mean what? Zaid arrived for a long time, Anas now arrived. So this wawul atfi does not denote what? That this person comes first before this. The fact that you mention is somebody first and you don't have any words, you don't have any pointer to say that it arrived first. If the statement is just left blank like this, it does not determine in Arabic language that this is the first person that came. So leaving a statement like this is still what? Still ambiguous. We don't know the person who comes first between them. But what we are able to understand that they both share the act of what? Arriving. Do we understand? So that is wawul atfi. So it will just depict ishtirok, that both of them have something they share together. But who does something first? Wawul atfi will never tell you. So this is what? Tawalla li khilafata, Abu Bakr and Umar. Who is the first? Is you that know yourself through history. But this statement does not what? Does not denote that it was Abu Bakr first or Umar. That's why we can rewrite and say what? Tawalla li khilafata Umaru wa Abu Bakr. It's also correct to write that way. Because what will that is just used for what? To say that people do something, just connect people that do things together. But who does that first? What will that cannot help you in that. It's just telling that they both do it. Do we guess now? Who does it does not inform you of who does it first. So that is that. The next one is our fa. They say the fa what? To feed the mother. The fa would to feed mother. It will to feed territive. So the fa what? Help you depict orderliness. The fa would depict what? Orderliness and what? And ta'qib. Immediately after. Meaning that when that same action they share together, don't forget this action we are discussing, all of them will share something. So that same action they share together, at the time of sharing the same, when they share the same action, somebody did that first, then the second person follow after, immediately. So that's why they say what? Faul atfi to feed maza, to feed teritib wa maza wa ta'qib. That means so there's a succession. So look at that now. Tawalla, that's why we can conveniently say what? Tawalla li khilafata Abu Bakrin fa Umar. Abu Bakrin fa Umar. We can say that. Why can we say that? Because we all know history. When Abu Bakr died, who became the next caliph immediately? Umar. So we can use this far. Because it's to feed what? Teritib. Orderliness. It was Abu Bakr that became the caliph first, who then follow Umar immediately after his death. That means, so that means we can also say Tawalla al-Khilafata Abu Bakr, then, do we guess now? Abu Bakr, then Umar, because it's a succession. So that's to feed what? Teritib and Ta'qib. Do we understand? So that's the, and don't forget, they will share the same i'rab. So this is taking Rafun, Abu. This one too is Abu. You can see this is taking Rafun too. It's taking a Doma. Do we understand? So let us move. We have what? Summa. Summa to feed mother, to feed teritiba wa tarokhia. This one will to feed teritib and tarokhi, that there is a space of time. Do you get? That means it's not like the that of far. Far is telling you that there is telling you orderliness and succession. What something follow immediately. That is far. But summa is what? Yes, it's telling you order. That this come before this. This come first, then this follow. But there is a space between the first and what? The second action that follow. Do you understand? So that is different between the far and what? Summa. Because people do get confused there. So look at this. These are some of those things English did not really emphasize on, that Arabic emphasize. So somebody who is a native of English, who have English background, they found it strange. That's Arabic for you. There are many things English just take them with levity, but Arabic have a long space for them, like duality now. English does not, the count is not plural, but Arabic have a great section for words, for dual, musanna. So that is language for you. So let's look at this. We have what? Tawalla al-khilafata Abu Bakr thumma Ali. Before Ali, there are many words. After Abu Bakr, we have Umar. After Umar, we have Uthman. After Uthman, then Ali. So that's why I can conveniently use what? Summa. Because there's a tarahi between Abu Bakr and what? And Ali. There's a space, a great space between them. So when Abu Bakr became Caliph, there are two more people that were Caliph before it reached its turn. So this is showing what? Orderliness. Abu Bakr first. Do you get? After, then we have what? Ali. So that's why I will say what? If I translate this as Abu Bakr then Umar, I will say what? Abu Bakr afterward for Thumma. I will say afterward Ali. Do you get? Because Ali is the fourth Caliph, while Abu Bakr is what? Is first. Do you get now? So that's why we say this one to feed more that teritib wa mada wa tarokhia. So that is that. So I think we can move on. So the next is what? How defeat two things. But we just write one. When we get to the book, we emphasize on. So uridul uruza. How full, and this uruza can spell in different way. You can see uruza, you can say that ruzu, and different this thing. Don't worry about you as spell it. And don't be scared. No, rice is not spelled this way. This is what I know. You don't need to get worried. This is also, you find them in dictionary. So uridul uruza, I want rice, au fulan, or beans. Do you get now? Uridu uruza, au maza, au fulan. I want rice or beans. So this is, here is this for takhir, to make a choice. Do you get it? So you use for shaku. For instance, I say, I'm talking to someone. I say, Ja Azidun or Umar. Is it or Umar that arrived? That is what shak. I'm doubting. That is doubt. Do you get now? So for instance, I say what? Ja Azidun. Sorry, help me manage this. Ja Azidun or Umar. Do you get? For instance, I see somebody opening the door. So I just guess that Ja Azidun or Au Umaru. Do you get now? So this is to feed, this Au is to feed the words here. Shaku, doubt. Do you get now? We also use it, here is his word, takir. This is a choice now. Do you get now? So that is that. Now the next is what? This is when you are asking if you use this like Allah said that. Do you get now? So this you can, so one of those things you first note here, okay, at these places, you will see that this uruz, and when it takes what? Sorry, I want to write like this. So do you get? You will see that they are both taking what? They are both taking nasbu. This is taking nasbu. This is also taking what? Nasbu. They will share the same nasbu. They will share the same rough. Very, very important. We have been saying that. So we can see this Abu and Ali Yusuf, the same rough form. So the man'ut will follow the words. The nat will always follow the words Matuf Ali. The atfu, sorry. So look at this now. Atufahan akalita amil uruza. So I'm here. I'm giving it keswa because of ilitical usakine. Do you get now? So atufahan and another thing you should notice. Look at the way we construct it. Oh, you know what I want to write here? I'm very sorry. So is what I want to write here is what? Protocol and sorry, that is orange. That's what I intended to write. So that is that. Now, so look at this. You see that those two things that you want to take something from, you will see that they both, one is near to the what? Is near to the hamza. The second is near to what? To am. So I will not say that akalita tufahan and burtukolan, but what? Atufa and akalita and burtukolan. For instance, I want to ask you that, do you arrive walking or what? Or riding? What will I say? I will say what? Arokiban jiita am mashiyan. Arokiban jiita am mashiyan. Do we get now? So both of them are hard like that. So one we near the hamza, the second we near the what? The am. That's the way to what? To express it. You know that I'll not say what? Mashiyan Ajita Moshiyan Maza Rokiban. I will not talk that way. But I will make those two things that I want to take, I want to select from. One will near the what? The hamza. The second will near the am. Those two things I want to what? To select from. Do you get now? I'm looking answer for. So one will near the hamza. The second will near the am. Now that I will just say Akalita to Fahan and Butukola. No. Do you guess? So that is that. You can see another thing that the artful, which is this, and the words and the matufale, they are both taking what? Nasbu. So let's look at the next one. Akalitu lahmen la samokatan. I ate fish. I ate fish. Not what? Not samoka. Not I ate meat, not fish. So you can see, I ate meat, not what? Not fish. So this is doing what? Is doing not few, yeah? So we use this to negate. We use this la to negate this. So this is what I really ate, not this one. So I use what? The la to negate the samoka. But that's what I ate. Do you get now? Now, this is what? This la is like opposite of what? Of this. Do you get? So you can see that this la, what you see before it is what really happened. So not what's come after. But this bal is what's come after that really happened. So not what this. So I say Morori to be Zaidin Bal Anasin. Morori to I pass by them. Rather. No, it is Anaso. Do you get now? So we use Bal for what? To strike out what is before, for idrob. To strike out what you see what before. So another thing you should notice is what? They are both taking what? Jarre. So do you get now? So Mororu to be Zaidin Bal Anasin. Look at this. Akali to Lahamon La Samokatan. So what is before it is correct, what is after is not correct. This one, what is before it is not correct. What's coming after is what is correct. So do you get now? So what do you use lacking for? For istirok, to make correction. So Moja al Waziru Lakin no Ibuhu. The minister did not come. But who came? The what is vice. Do you get now? So they both share what? The same thing. The only thing we have not now used is what? Hatta. Let's quickly use it. Akalitu. I want to use hatta here. Akalitu samokata. That we have used when we started our this thing there. Our first class, you could remember hatta. You can see the hatta. Ra moza. Ra sa. What will I give this one? I will give it a what? What will I give this thing? If you have been following the class, I will give it what? I will give it a what this Samoka is taking. Because I want to say I ate the fish, because we use this one for what? For Goya. To the extreme, to the end. We use it for Goya. So I ate the fish. So the head inclusive. So the head also. I ate the head with it. So that is hatta. So what happened to this fish will happen to the head too. You know, don't forget, say that the artful, they will share the same word, the same hukmu. So do you get? And they both share in something that is similar. So since the head is eating, the head too will also what? Is also eating. So this is taking nosbu. This will also take what? Nosbu. So that's why we say akali to samakata hatta rasa. Samaka is taking fatah. That means it is eating. Rasa is taking fatah. It's also what? It's also what? Eating. So these are our artful. So what the Mu'atufale is taking, the artful to what? We take it. So that means if somebody who understand this artful way, if you have seen construction like this, the person will quickly know that, oh, this hatta is what? Hatta of what? That is used for Goya. You know that this is an artful to show extent. Do you get? Because we have another hatta. If I use another hatta, we have that one that is for Jari. We have hatta that is what? Harfu Jari. If it is being used, this rasa will take what? We take a kesra. Do we get now? So if somebody sees that, we know that, okay, if this samoka is taking fatha and the rasa is taking kesra, that means this hatta is what? Is harfu Jari. So it will not be that the eight is written, but the eating stop at the end. The person was eating, if he when it goes to the end, he stop eating. That's not that. That one is what is extent. Do we get now? Example, like what Allah said that Salamun hiya hatta matla'il fajr. The hatta there is harfu Jari. So the angel continues to come down and the blessing continues to fall hatta matla'il fajr. That like we call the extent stop at what? At Fajr time. So at that Fajr time, it stopped. That's the cease of the period of what? Laylatul Qadr. Hatta Motline. Immediately the Fajr is out. So it does not continue. The Laylatul Qadr night does not continue after what? After Fajr. So that hatta, if I use it here, this will take a what? A kesra. But that's not what we want to use here. It is the one that is what? Lili Goya. So that one is artful. So it will share with what? With this matuf. So that is that on the introduction to artful. Quickly, let us look at our book. So I will clean the board. So we have here, it said artful. The coiner said al-artful. Artful tabi'un. As we told us that artful is always a tabi'un. We say we have 4 types of tabi'un: nat, tawkid, artful, and what? And badal. So artful tabi'un yatawassatu bainahu wa baina matbu'ihi, that it is a tabi'un that ahadu yatawassatu, it is always in between it. Yatawassatu bainahu wa baina matbu'ihi, it's always between your artful and its matbu'. What the artful is following, like your artful here is anos, what's the matbu'? Zaidun. I'm saying this because for those who want to read themselves. The now say what? Yatawassatu. What something is always in their middle. That's not the yatawassatu. It is always in their middle. What is that? Ahadu hazihil huruf. One of these huruf. They now want to mention the huruf to us. So let me read again for those who want to read themselves with the book. Say al-atfu, atfu, like this anos is atfu now in this sentence. Tabi'un is always what? Is always a follower of what is coming before it. Like here, this is your atfu, and this zaid is this is your atfu, which is a tabi'un that follows. So do we get this is your atfu is a tabi'un? So it said yatawassatu bainahu wa baina matbu'ihi adu azilu. It's not always between it. Baina this atfu and its what? And its matbu'. What will always be in between them? What is always yatawassatu in between them? Ahadu azilu, one of these huruf. You now say wahia, they are al-wawu, al-fahu, which we have written, thumma, wa'aw, which we have written, wa'am, wala, wabal, walakin, wahatta. So you always see in between your words, they will always say yatawassatu, they always be in between your words, your artful and its matbu'. You understand? So that is that. So they brought some example here, last food. So they read those things. نضج الخوخ والعنب أكلت الخوخ والعنب هذا شجر الخوخ والعنب. You can see that everything they use there is what is they use wa will last be there. So that's just the introduction. So we have given a depiction here that the artful, or we can also call it matuf, is this, and the matuf we have helped you label them. So when you are reading the book and you see those terms, you'll be able to identify what they mean by the term. So quickly, let's go to the next part where they say ma'ani huruful atfi, the meanings of these artful words. So quickly, as we know, we read the Quran. I said huruful atfi tis'a. The particles of conjunctions, they are 9. Aliwawu wahiya lil mutlaq jam'i, that it is used for mutlaq of jam'i. That means that it is unrestricted. It does not depict what tertib, orderliness. It does not depict orderliness. So do you get now? That's what they meant by mutlaku German. Say, so for instance, if I say akalitu, akalitu was sharibtu. I ate and I drank. Which one did I do first? Why will Asfi cannot tell you? It can mean I ate first or I drank first, or I drank first or I ate first. I ate and drank simultaneously. It does not depict. Do we get now? So that's why I say mutlaku German. Say walifau literitib. Literitib ma ta'qib. The fa is used for teritib and ta'qib. That means a teritib orderliness and ta'qib immediately after. There's a succession that comes immediately. That's not the word the ta'qib. Say wa summa and summa the teritib ma tarohi is used for orderliness ma tarohi with a word with a space of time before the second action comes in. There's a space of time before the word the artful word comes into the action. So that's of the tarohi, which we have explained. It said, how is this for what? Lishaki, for doubt, how takhyir, or to make what? To make a selection. Wa'am litolabi ta'yin. Am is used for what? To select the ta'yin, like what we have here. Atufahan, akalita, and burtukolan. You surely do ta'yin of this tufahan or what? Burtukol. Do you get now? So it said, wala li nafi. La is used to negate. Can you see? Say wa bali idrob. Bali is used to what? For a drop to strike. That's why in English today, what ASU have done now, that say they are going for one more strike, we call it idrob in Arabic. That means they have strike out what? Their work. The same way too here, this bad strike out Zaid is now telling that the person that passed by is what? Is Anos. Do you get now? Say walakin is istidrok. Lakin is used to what? For istidrok, for correction. If I will remember istidrok of Hakim. So wahata liligoya, after is used to show what? To the last extent that thing occurred, that it got to the what? To the extent of it. So that's that. So quickly let's look at the example. We said tawalla li khilafata Abu Bakr wa Umar. Alhamdulillah is the example we have used there. So he attained khilaf Abu Bakr and Umar. Who attained first? What this sentence did not know, because it's what will answer. Tawalla li khilafa, that's why it was written again. Umaru wa Abu Bakr. Do we get now? Look at the next one. Sallal imamu wal ma'mum. The imam and the ma'mum prayed. The imam and the ma'mum prayed. Do we get now? So that is that. The next one. Dakola li mudarrisu fawaqafa talamizu. So this will, the meaning of this will be what? The mudarris came in, then the student sat. That means immediately the mudarris came in, said that's the first action. The coming in of the mudarris. What followed next? Immediately the student sat. Immediately the mudarris what came in, because the fa is for what? Teritib mu'at what? Mu'atakib. So the next one, Hakamo Misra Ismailu Fatawfik. So Ismail ruled Misra, he ruled Egypt. Then that means the person succeeded after immediately Ismail, after the death of Ismail was who? Tawfik followed immediately, succession. So Ra'ana Abuka Fahayyana. Your father was, your father saw us. So immediately your father saw us, your father saw, then he was, he greeted us. So the fa is for what? Is for teritib ma'amoza ma'akib. So the next one says Mota Rashid Thumma Ma'mun. Rashid died. After the death of Rashid, the next caliph of the Abbasid was not what? Was not Ma'mun. Do you get now? So that's why they use Summa. Said Rashid died afterward. What? Who? Ma'mun. Because there's a brother of Ma'mun that became the caliph after him. Do you get? So after his death, he got to Ma'mun. So do you get? Says Zara'ana al-Kutna Summa Janainahu. We planted Kutna. Afterwards, Summa Janaina, we plucked it. Jana is to harvest something. Do you get now? So it's also if it is in fiqh, Jana here means to what? To commit a crime. So Zara'ana al-Kutna. Afterward, after we planted it, so it will take a long time for it to grow now. So we now what we harvested, that's why Summa is used there. Because it's used for what? Teritib ma'amoza mu'atakib. Astaghfirullah, teritib mu'atarohi. Do you get now? Taroki is for a time was spent before the next action occurs. So yankodil soifu summa yamudu. Saif passed, that means saif goes over. The soif ended, that means the word summer ended. The summer ended, summa yamud, afterward it returned. But when the summer ends, there will be a word, another season. So after that end of the season, we have another what? Another summer. That's why summer can be what? Can be used there. So that is that. So if you go to the Bathu part, other ones were what? Were mentioned there. So the Alpha said, if you check that, say one more who philosophy al-Bakia, the rest that they have not used, said, فَقَدْ يَتُولُ شَرُهَا إِذَا سَلَكْنَا الطَّرِيقَ مُتَقَدِّمَةً فِي الْبَيَانِ. If you follow the words, the previous way they have used to explain it in the explanation. While Izalika, because of that, non-jawila ijmal, we take the Alpha said we took a summary part, fanokul, and we say how the usage of how wahiyali takhir how we shak. How is used for what? For takhir, to make a choice. How we shak or doubt. Say fayakulu, khudhu waridan aw banof sajan. Take is a command. Take waridan, take a rose flower, or banof sajan, or hibiscus what flower. So take a rose flower or what hibiscus flower. That's a choice. That's the choice you get. You have a choice of taking a warid, a rose flower, or what hibiscus mother flower. Say fatakulu, another example. He said, no khala al-khabara aliyun aw farid. Ali or Farid convey the words, the news. So that is the word. That's the shak. That's the doubt. So Ali or Farid convey the news. That's the shak. That's the doubt. So we use out for that. So two things to mention. We see it as we dimension up to 5, but leave it. We are just coming on. You don't need to stress yourself. Just digest them gradually. So fatekul, another is I said fatekulu. This is for what? For am, and we told us that that is used for what? Litolabu ta'yin, to seek for ta'yin. So it's always used with questions most times. So atufahan akalita burutukolan. Is it what? Is it apple you ate or what? Burutukolan. Just know the way they construct it. Those two things we want to do ta'yin of. One will near the amza. The second one will near the what? The am. Do you understand now? So is it fruit you ate or orange? Do you guess now? So you do ta'yin. That means you select one of the two. He said la wahiya li nafi li hukmi anil ma'tuf. It is used to what? To nafi hukmu from the ma'tuf. You know that we told us that the ma'tuf is the same as your atfu. So you are saying that hukmu does not occur to the words like here in this is your ma'tuf. It's also the same as the atfu. So that's why we label this thing, because sometimes you confuse the students. We label it. So say wahiya li nafi hukmi anil ma'tuf. Fatakulu hasadna al-qamha la sha'ira. Do we get now? That means we harvested what? We harvested with not barley. Do you get now? So what comes first is what will be correct. The second one will be negated. So that is that. He said bal wayal idrob. Bal is used to strike out. That means strike out what comes before. It is what comes after that is correct. So example, fatakul ishtaroitu dawatan bal kolamon. I bought ink. No, I bought ink. Rather, it's not ink I bought to kolamon. It is what? It is a pen. So what is very important is that they must share the same words, the same enrob. So you can say dawatan. Yeah, we don't say kolamin or kolamun. You both say that you both use nosbu for them because they are what atfu and matuf ale, or matuf and matuf ale. So they must share the same enrob. Very, very important. So lakin iyalil ishtirok fatakulu mojaha. Istidrok don't want to put here is a mistake, not ishtirok. The Tezuko ishtirok, but istidrok for correction. Fatakulu mojaha sayyidu lakin qadimu. The master did not come. Lakin qadimu. It was his who came. It was his servant. So you can see they both take the same words, the same rafun. So hatta wa ya lil goya. Hatta is used for what? So the last position is used for goya. To the last extent. Fatakulu farroli junudu hatta liqaidu. I will not say farroli junudu hatta liqaida or hatta liqaidi, because this is artful here now. So the junud, the troops ran away. They ran they ran away. Hatta liqaida, hatta their qaid. Yoruba do say it. Yoruba they do say it. Hatta àwọn tó ṣe pé kíni òun náà ṣe báyìí báyìí. Do we get now? So the hatta is for that. In what happened to those troops also happened to the Qaid. As the troops fell, the Qaid, which is the commander, to also he also ran away with them. So that is why they are both taking what raw form. So you note this atta because the other atta too that can be atta of it that can be there, that of jaru too can be used. We are not talking on them for today. So let's just first digest this and solve work example. May Allah accept it from us as an act of ibadah. So that is all we can take under what? Under atfu, inshallah. Jazakumullah khairan. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdik. Ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilaik. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.